UT herpetology really kicked into gear when William Frank Blair arrived in 1946. His research would bring a deeper understanding of amphibian communication. Faculty that joined after Blair would also continue work in this area. One of these early new faculty members is Dr. Michael Ryan. He joined the UT faculty in the fall semester of 1984 and currently teaches as the Clark Hubbs Regents Professor in Zoology. Ryan studies animal behavior, with most of his work addressing sexual selection and communication in frogs and fish. As a behavioral evolutionist, he is especially interested in integrating an understanding of the mechanisms of communication involved in mate attraction with the evolutionary consequences of sexual selection. Ryan grew up in the Bronx and northwestern New Jersey. Both areas had resources that piqued his interest in the natural sciences. The Bronx Zoo and the American Museum of Natural History in New York, and the forests of his childhood New Jersey home. An influential high school biology teacher gave him more focus, and he attended a state college after graduation. Learning that he could engage in the scientific process thrilled him enough to pursue it as a career. This excitement would lead him to Rutgers University for his master's degree, then to Cornell University for PhD work in the late 1970s. During his PhD, Ryan spent nearly 3 years at the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute's field station on Barrow, Colorado Island. This is where he began involvement in tropical biology and his work on the Tungara frog, a small neotropical frog native to Middle and South America. This frog was also what caused Ryan to abandon extreme adaptionist thinking. The idea in biology that an animal's behavior always enhances its evolutionary fitness, but not consider that ancestry and anatomy can play constraining roles. Ryan worked with ecologists Stan Rand and Merlin Tuttle. Ryan would complete a postdoctoral Miller Fellowship in the Museum of Vertebrate Zoology at the University of California at Berkeley. Here he added phylogenetic analysis to his studies of sexual selection and communication of the Tungara frog, seeking to understand how the female's mate choice among conspecific males influenced the evolution of the male's courtship display, his vocalizations. But what does a Tungara frog mating call sound like? Let's take a listen here. The sounds you hear in this call are not always the same. As Ryan explains it, when the male is alone, he will rarely add that chuck noise that comes at the end of the initial whine. The male will add the chuck when he is in a group of other frogs. This gives him a 5-fold better chance to grab the attention of a female. It's a delicate balance, though. By advertising himself to the nocturnal world, the Tungara frog is not only telling females he's available, he's also letting predators know where he is. This is an example of opposing forces of natural and sexual selection, one of the foci of Ryan's research, as well as other effects on the male frog's mating call, such as the female's auditory system, environmental influences on calls, and the male's morphology. Ryan's work on the Tungara frog was published in The Tungara Frog, a study of sexual selection and communication in 1985, and is a classic in the field. He also recently published a book for the general public, A Taste for the Beautiful, in 2018, that discusses the potency of sexual selection generating much of the animal beauty we see in the world. Ryan also has researched the behaviors of local cricket frogs and other animals such as fish, salamanders, and birds. His approach is always an integrative one. As an educator and mentor, Ryan's former grad students, interns, and postdocs are aplenty. Ryan is also a fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, the American Association for the Advancement of Science, and the Guggenheim Foundation.